His name was Obinna, a 40-year-old man from Enugu State, a first-class graduate in mechanical engineering. He once stood on the convocation stage with pride in his eyes and a degree in his hand. People clapped. Cameras flashed. The future felt big. But 10 years later, no job, no opportunities. Just an old certificate stained with tears and dust. He lived in a leaking 2-room apartment with his wife, Amaka, and 4 children. He should have been more. Rice was a luxury. Gary was a prayer. Some days, they drank water and slept. Other days, Amaka tied wrappers tight around her belly, hoping it would kill the hunger. The kids grew thinner. Their laughter died. Obinna started avoiding mirrors. His eyes reminded him he'd failed. One morning, his wife fainted while fetching water. He couldn't even afford paracetamol. That day, Obinna didn't cry. He just stared, like something inside him broke. Chika was the youngest, only 3 years old. She loved to hum lullabies to herself. But one night, her breath slowed, her lips dried, and before sunrise, she was gone. Malnutrition. That's what the doctor said, quietly, awkwardly, as if ashamed. There was no coffin, just a white bedsheet and a prayer. Amaka wailed until she fainted. Obinna stood by the wall, punching it until his hands bled. He had buried a child because he couldn't afford food. 2 weeks later, Obinna received a call. Obi, Nami, Razor. Remember from UNN. Razor had always been street smart. Never made first class, but somehow now drove a Lexus and wore designers. He said he had a job that could change Obinna's life overnight. Obinna was tired of praying, of hoping, of waiting for miracles. He agreed to meet. Razor laid it out. A wealthy local politician. Cash go day house. Dollars. No security. Just 2 gods. It was simple. In and out. 15 minutes. Obinna hesitated. I'm not a thief. Razor smiled. You're not a thief, bro. You're a father. A hungry man. And Nigeria don't care about clean hands. The line between man and monster blurred. That night, Obinna lay beside his sleeping wife. He kissed his children's foreheads and whispered, "Daddy's going to fix everything." Obinna put on black clothes and borrowed Razor's extra gun. His hands trembled, not from fear, but hunger, rage, and grief. He wasn't robbing for luxury. He was robbing for bread. They parked near the politician's mansion at 2:13 a.m. Razor said, "You ready?" Obinna nodded. But in his heart, something screamed no. They climbed the back fence. The gate guard was asleep. The house was dark. But Obinna stepped on broken glass. A sharp crack. A light turned on. Then, shouts. Gunshots. Screams. Obinna ran. Razor shouted, "Go! Go!" But Obinna tripped on a rock near the main gate. A security guard opened fire. 1 shot. To the chest. Obinna fell face down. Blood soaked the sand. He whispered one word. "Chika!" And then, he was gone. By morning, it was on the news. First-class graduate gunned down in failed robbery attempt. They used an old photo, cap and gown, smiling. Nobody knew the whole story. Nobody talked about the hunger, the death, the desperation. Amaka collapsed when they told her. His kids sat silent, not understanding why Daddy won't be coming back. Obinna died trying to save his family. But in the end, he only left them with pain. So now I ask you, if you were Obinna, hungry, hopeless, grieving, no job, no food, a dead child, what would you have done? If this story moved you, leave a comment below. What would you have done if it was you? Subscribe for more true inspired stories.